Hey one, so I created this makeup look using only Indian makeup brands, and if you're interested, please keep on watching. So starting by giving some hydration to my lips, and for that I'm using K Beauty Precious Lip Oil in the shade Rose Quartz. I have the gold dust as well and it's almost gone. For my brows, I'm using PAC Superr Brow Pomade in the shade Espresso. The brush here I'm using is from Mars, super fine and sleek. Also, always take the extra product before you start. Now I'm starting with outlining my brows, and to tell you a little about this brow cream, this is more creamier than the rest of my brow products. This is so creamy that this glides like anything. So while working with this one, you have to hold that control because again, it's very creamy and pigmented. But other than that, this is very long lasting and smudge proof. Only retails for 645 rupees and comes in 6 different shades. You know, my holy grail brow pomade has to be one from Anastasia, but this one is no less than that. If you like using brow pomades, I highly recommend you this one. After precisely outlining my brows, I am filling in brows from the center and marking the strokes with very light hand. Now when it's done, just look at the difference. Give me a choice to pick between a brow pomade or a pencil. I'll always go for brow pomade. Now for my eye base, I'm using Swiss Beauty Select High on Cover Concealer. This is from the Select range and the shade that I'm using is 2.0 medium. Here's a quick tip to make your brows look even more clear and precise. You can use a brush like this. This is a brow shaping brush from Vega. All you have to do is shape your brows using a concealer or any base product from head of the brow to the tail part. Just shape it well and that's it. After shaping my brows, here I'm using PAC Concealer Brush to blend the concealer and mark my words here. Okay, this is one of the best concealer brushes you can use under budget. Like, I don't have to tell you about PAC brushes, right? Now talking about this concealer, I have done a complete review of this one on my channel already in case if you want to check out, but this is one of my favorite concealers, like go-to concealers. Now this is what it looks like. The difference is again very easily visible. My right brow looks more precise, well shaped and clean. This 1 minute tip can actually make a huge difference. Now another tip, if you ever feel you mistakenly used a lot of concealer on your eyelids, you can just use your beauty blender, just dab it on your eyelids and it will absorb all the extra product. Not really a makeup hack, but a little trick that actually works and gives you a very smooth base. Now to set my eyelids, I'm using Mars Trend Setting Loose Powder in the shade Translucent, and can you see how much I have used? And yes, you only need this much of product to set your eyelids. I'm just dusting it all over my eyelids, and if you want a better option, you can definitely try out Maybelline Loose Powder. My shade is light. Coming to my eyeshadow, I've got two palettes. Firstly, I have the Swiss Beauty Select palette. Secondly, I have this 24/7 eyeshadow palette. Firstly, taking the lighter shade from the 24/7 palette, placing it in my crease, and now slowly building the shade above my crease. Now using this shade and again placing this in my crease. Using the darker shade from the Select palette, I'm again placing it in my crease, but I'm more focused on the outer part of my eyes here. But again, blending the edges really well. And here I made a cut crease using a concealer and a round eyeshadow brush. Now using this pressed shimmer shade, I'm applying it all over my crease, but I would suggest if you want to apply shimmer shades, please apply using your finger. Next up, I'm using Mars Icehoureyes liquid eyeshadow. This is in the shade Big Bang. It's a beautiful light pink shade with a hint of pearl and silver. I'm really sorry my camera was not focusing, but no doubt this is such a pretty shade. Instead of directly applying it all over my eyelid, I'm applying it using a flat eyeshadow brush. This way it just prevents no extra product wastage, no cracks and patchiness on your eyelids. This one only retails for 280 rupees and comes in 10 different shades. As I said, Big Bang is such a beautiful light pink shade with a hint of light pearls and silver. Perfect if you want something for night parties, weddings. This is very easy to use. Definitely you can use it directly all over your eyelid, but to avoid any kind of cracks or patchiness later, I would say just apply it using a flat brush. And of course, you need a very tiny amount of this one because a little goes along. Next up, I'm using newly launched K Beauty 2-in-1 Kajal eyeliner pencil. This has got Kajal on one side and eyeliner on the other side. Here I'm only going to use the Kajal side. Really good for sensitive eyes, gives one swipe pigmentation and is smudge proof. Now using eyeshadow blending brush, I'm placing the transition shade. For my eyeliner, I'm using this TNW eyeliner. This is smudge proof Eyecarchy matte liquid eyeliner. Look at the tip of this eyeliner. This is super precise. Now here I'm not going for any dramatic eyeliner kind of a look. I'm just going for a everyday, eyeliner look. My favorite eyeliner from an Indian brand has to be from Prosh. The Constant eyeliner is really good. For my mascara, I'm using this Nykaa super light mascara. This is their recent launch. I have talked about this one earlier as well. This is one of my favorite mascara. Love the length it gives and feels very lightweight. Using Swiss Beauty false lashes. Looks a little dirty because I have used it before, and now again Swiss Beauty lash glue works really good for the price point, and can you see false lashes makes a really good difference. Now if you have been following me or if you have watched my previous video, you know how much I love this little primer. This is Nykaa Prep Me Up primer. This is a pore filling primer. This comes in two different size, travel size and full size. Here I have the travel size. Now I have pore issues on my nose and cheek area, so I make sure it sits well on those spots. Now I won't say this is one of the best pore filling primers, but this really works well. Also fills my pores to some extent. Now this is something I learned from Share Jen's video. Instead of massaging pore minimizing primer into your skin, just tap so that it does fill your pore more efficiently. Usually I don't go for color correction, but here I have this concealer palette or color wheel from Inside Cosmetics. This is what it looks like. This has got most of the color correction. Here I'm taking green color corrector for red acne spots on my face. It doesn't really look red on camera, but yes, redness is there. I have got a little bit of redness on my face, and here I've taken a little bit of orange color corrector for dark spots on my face, like previous acne spots and everything, and this looks pigmented. Orange color corrector looks very pigmented. Honestly, formula feels very creamy, easy to use, and is super blendable. Here I've taken again a little bit of the color corrector for darkness around my mouth. I have a little bit pigmentation around corners of my mouth. Now again using the same concealer, Swiss Beauty Select Concealer in the shade 2.0 medium. I'm applying it wherever I feel I have pigmentation marks, acne marks, redness and everything. Talking about the formula, this feels really good. The moment I start applying, I feel that cooling sensation on my face. So yes, it's very comforting on skin. This one only retails for 430 rupees and comes in 8 different shades and feels really lightweight on skin. Now to blend this concealer, again I'm using my favorite PAC Concealer Brush, one of my holy grails for a reason. You know, I have said this before and I'm gonna repeat it. If you're a makeup beginner or if you have just stepped out in a world of makeup, you're looking for a good quality, affordable makeup brushes, like not too expensive, not too cheap, you can definitely go for PAC brushes without any second thought. Now look at the coverage this concealer has given me. But if you want to know more about this concealer, you can check out my dedicated video on my channel. For my foundation, I'm using newly launched K Beauty Soft Matte Full Coverage Foundation. This is what a foundation looks like. Really like the packaging, and I've taken 1.5 pump of this foundation. That's it, and this has got pretty thick consistency. To blend this foundation, I'm using Prosh Beauty Blender, and look at that beautiful blending. As I said, this is a new launch from K Beauty. I have already done review of this one on my channel already. It's brutally honest, not a paid partnership or collaboration. I got this one from my own money. But to tell you a little about this foundation, this is a full coverage foundation. Yes, a full coverage foundation from K Beauty. But more than that, I like the finish of this foundation. Not super dewy, not super matte, but yes, as the name says, this is soft matte foundation. This does cover dark spots or blemishes really easily, as this is a full coverage foundation. Now this is what it looks like when I've used this foundation all over my face. Only thing that bothers me while using this foundation, although I'm using it for the third time, this is clinging or settling down onto my dry spots of my face and is looking patchy. Like I can see dry spots on my face even after applying this foundation, along with that patchiness. Not really visible on camera, but I can see that, or maybe it's my skin behaving that way as of now. For my contour, I'm using Sugar Face Forward Contour Stick in the shade Espresso, and can you see how much I have used it already? Like it looks a little dirty because I have used it so much. This is a retractable contour stick. Now because I have used a full coverage foundation, I'm going a little extra with my contour today to get that structure on my face back. For my nose, I don't do anything extra, to be very honest. I don't follow any of those spoon forks or any kind of hacks. I just do what I like. To blend my contour, I'm using this random angular brush that I got from Amazon. I think it's been 3-4 years, but it is still working so good. Not a lot of shedding. This is the only brush that I use for my cream bronzer or cream blushes. Quick tip, if you ever go overboard with the blushes, bronzer, contour, use a foundation blender or brush. That's it, just tap, but do not use a powder or it will make it look patchy at the end. For my blush, I'm using my another obsession. This is K Beauty Cream to Powder Blush. Again, this is their new launch and this is the shade Tender. This is the shade I'm going to use. This is one of my favorite products from K Beauty. My love for cream powder blushes started with Lamel, but here I am. This has got very creamy, soft formula. Once you start to apply, once you start blending, this gives beautiful powdery finish and is suitable for all skin types. I've done complete review of this one on my channel already. Again, brutally honest, I know this is on the expensive side, nowhere affordable or budget friendly, but then you can try cream blushes from K Beauty. Their OG blushes also works really good. good. For my liquid highlighter, I'm using newly launched Inside Cosmetics Halo Glow Liquid Illuminator. This is the liquid illuminator. This one only retails for 300 rupees and comes in 4 different shades. The shade here I used is called Celestial Rose Gold, and you need a tiny amount of this one because a little goes a long way, as this a liquid product. This one blends really easily and has got very fine shimmer particles, which looks really beautiful. You can definitely use this one in multiple ways. You can use this before your foundation, mix it with your foundation, and now as a highlighter. See, this looks really pretty. To keep my base intact, I'm using Mars Trend Setting Translucent Powder. Again, gently dusting it all over my face, around my mouth, under eye area, and a little bit on my forehead. I usually like to set my entire face, but because I'm wearing a high coverage foundation and I'm experiencing dry spots on my face, so I am just gently dusting it all over. Next, I have this multi-purpose palette from Mars Cosmetics in the shade Dilly, and this is what it looks like. This has got 9 eyeshadow shades and 4 multi-purpose face products: blush, contour, highlighter, and powder. Here I'm using the contour shade, and this feels really soft and easy to blend. I'm not going to use the highlighter or powder shade, but coming to the blush, the shade slightly looks lighter for me and is little patchy. For my highlighter, I'm using one of my favorite highlighter. This is K Beauty Illuminating Highlighter. This is their powder highlighter. This is in the shade Champagne. Again, one of my favorite products from K Beauty. Also have done complete review on both of the highlighters, like the liquid highlighter and the powder highlighter, in case if you're interested. Coming to my lips, I'm using Edge of Desire lip liner from Mars Cosmetics, and look how much I've used. This is in the shade Exotic Brown. This is such a beautiful nude brown shade, would suit fair to medium skin tone. Also, if you're looking for budget lip liners, you can definitely try out newly launched Inside Cosmetics Color Rich lip liners. Really good shade range and only retails for 100 rupees. I had to use this one product in today's video. This is one of my absolute favorite products from K Beauty. This is the lip tint in the shade Honey. This is the one lip tint I just can't get over. This is such a beautiful nude brown shade. I have literally finished it. I can wear it anytime, with makeup, without makeup, doesn't matter. I need this lip tint. Now this is what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you liked the look. The entire video has got no filter, no edits, nothing. This is a raw video. I will provide each and every product's detail in the description box. And here's a close-up of the makeup look I created to show you. This has got no filters. So yes, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Also, please do not forget to like and subscribe.